Everybody, how's it going? It's Gaming Jack 24/7 here, welcoming you back to Let's Play Dante's Inferno. In the last episode, we fought the first boss of hell itself. We fought Midas in Limbo, and we kicked his ass, and it was awesome. And in this episode, we are going to enter the Lust Tornado and finally begin this section of the game, where we're actually in, the circles of hell itself. I'm sorry, I didn't really know what to say there. But as you can see, if you stand right here, it'll show you the little circles of what you need to show. And I'm sorry if you can hear that guy in the background. He's doing some yard work, and yeah. So what we need to do is wait for the electricity ball to come over here. I timed that terribly, mainly because I just want to show it off. But you have to wait for the electricity ball to make it to begin to form, and throw the switch here to turn it around, which will send it the other way, culminating in it hitting the Lust Tornado, which makes a giant hole in it. That's not suggestive or anything. Actually, it's really not. It's kind of disgusting. And through that hole, we can jump in and enter the tower. And we get our third enemy of the game. Well, not our third, like the fifth enemy we've seen in the game. And these girls are just creepy. I mean, come on, look at it. They have giant deformed scorpion tails for dicks, and they're women. You cannot tell me that's natural at all. And I'm just gonna take her and chuck her away because I don't like her. I don't like you like that, madam. You have a penis. Therefore, I do not like you like that. Stop trying to be Birdo. You can't do what Birdo did. But anyway, and if anybody, for those of you who don't understand what I just said there, if you recall from the original Super Mario 2, which is actually Japan's Doki Doki Panic, another little tidbit there. But in that game, you have the character Birdo, correct? Well, in the game, Birdo, if you read the manual for the game, it says it's a guy that prefers to be called a woman's name. I believe it was like, I forgot what it was. It was some weird woman's name. But afterwards, if you ask the people at Nintendo, they will claim that Birdo is actually a guy. Creepy, right? So I just wanted to point it out there because, yeah, it's a guy who pretends to be a girl. Essentially, it's a transsexual. So, that's another little thing that Nintendo's done to slip, transsexuals into video games. They did that there. Capcom did it with Poison in the Final Fight series. Yes, I know. It's sad, but yes, Poison from the Final Fight series is not a woman. She is also a transvestite. So, yeah. Now, why am I even talking about transvestites in this episode? It just makes no logical sense. But anyway, so as you saw there, the key to that puzzle was you could see the glowing fangs. And if you recall from episode 2, I believe, we got to a section where there was a giant glowing wall, and because it was glowing with the cracks in it, it was signifying that it could be broken. So let's just jump up here, and you can actually see that's Beatrice right over there, on a little bed with her creepy outfit. She starts not talking to us anymore, because, we kind of fucked up. We kind of slept with another woman while we were away at war, and that's not nice. Not nice at all. So yeah, this is another puzzle of the game right here, is trying to figure out how to get the circle all the way up there, and also, we have to get the circle up there without crushing ourselves, and then also activate the circle, the area above, so we can use the circle to get up there. Now, actually, let's talk to Virgil again.
To this circle was judged Semiramis, Queen of Assyria, Empress of many tongues. Her passion ruled her and her kingdom.
Yep, and actually, we already got to see Semiramis already. If you didn't know, that was actually the giant creepy lady from the last episode, was Semiramis herself. Actually, hold on, real quick. Since we have so many frickin' souls, and unfortunately we don't have Unholy Level 1 yet, we were close, but I'll explain why my stats look a little bit different in a second. But what am I gonna get? I think I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get Sacred Judgment, which, as you can see, if you hold LT and then press B, It's an attack that shocks people with your cross and then pulls them back in. So, yeah. Now, on the topic of why my stats don't look the same. Now, as you recall, if you saw on Facebook, I forgot to put it on Twitter. I apologize for that. But if you saw on Facebook, I announced that I wasn't going to be releasing an episode of Dante's Inferno this week. And that's mainly because, or last week, a couple weeks ago, actually. It was usually, how I like to release these on Wednesday. I couldn't release it at all. And the reason being, actually, is because when I did the original recording, and then I had it all done. It was going to be 20 minutes long. It was actually going to be the combination of the last 2 episodes I've recorded here, where I'm trying to split this up because I decided afterwards, I was like, yeah, I need to start making these episodes shorter because I feel like they're too long, and I feel like nobody really wants to watch me play the same game for... Most people don't have, 20 minutes straight to watch the game. They'd rather, watch it in 15-minute increments instead of 20. So, yeah. So after I got done recording the entire episode, which was probably about 25 minutes long. 25 minutes long. It was a really long episode. I really apologize for that. But actually, I don't need to apologize because it never saw the light of day. And that's because when I went to edit, I had saved already in the game file, but unfortunately what I should have done is saved under a new game file instead of, overwriting the old save, because when I tried to do my editing, I found out that my entire audio track, what you hear me talking right now, it did not record. Not one single bit of it. It was entirely white noise, which means instead of, hearing me actually talk over the game, there was no audio track. So I had basically wasted 25 minutes playing the game, getting farther ahead, just to find out that I actually did not end up recording my audio. And since I saved, I couldn't go back into it and, play it again because I had gone past the point where I had originally saved, where I had originally started. So what I've been doing right now, I'm recording a couple episodes in a row because I'm at college and my mom doesn't want me. For some reason, she decided I shouldn't have the games with me during my summer session at college, which I understand completely. I mean, it makes sense. That way it's not distracting me. But because of this, I'm doing a giant recording session now. And what was I trying to talk about? So basically, what I started to do, instead of, picking up where I left off in the last episode, what I've been doing is I probably spent the last, probably about 2 hours now, just going back, playing the entire game over again, and getting back to where I was, which is why all my stats aren't the same. Which is why my stats aren't the same. Why I have 7,000 souls instead of, a lot less in store. And why my unholy level is very, very, very low. And I really do apologize for that. I should have made sure my audio track recorded before I saved, but that's an error on my part. I mean, hey, we're all humans. We all make mistakes similar to this. So, yeah, hopefully you guys can, forgive me for that. But anyway, I've been talking over this giant fighting section because that's all it is. All we're doing is just fighting people. We're just beating up chicks with dicks and skeleton reincarnated versions of enemies we've already fought. Now we get a little mini fight with what's her name? I don't even care, to be honest. But yeah, so unfortunately she has really, really weird nipples that have tongues that birth the unbaptized babies that we fought earlier. And I don't want to be your babysitter. I don't like you like that. Just get off me, please. I don't like you. Die. I'm going to punish you because I don't like you. You've been a bad baby. Bad baby. Now, as you can see, every time we defeat a set of the unbaptized children, we will see one of the side platforms rise up. And in this case, we get this one over here. So I'm going to try and not, get my ass kicked by the enemies and activate this. Now, as you can see, the lever on the right will activate the snakes who will then breathe fire in whatever direction they're aimed at. But unfortunately, because they're aimed at us and not towards the center towards the queen herself, they won't damage her. So what we have to do is actually go to the other side, activate that lever to cause it to actually, you know, damage her. We have to aim, that'll aim the snake heads at her, and then because of that, then we can activate this lever again on the right side, and then we can, you know, actually damage her. And then that will end this section. To be honest, it's not really, this isn't really a boss fight at all. It's not even a mini boss fight. It's more of just I would consider this more of a puzzle than anything, to be perfectly honest. Only because of what you have to do in this section itself. Now, honestly, I'm not trying to deal with these enemies right now because I really don't want to deal with them. I just really hate these unbaptized children, if I haven't said this already. And I really don't want to be the babysitter, and I'm about to get lit on fire. But yeah, there you go. Now we lit her on fire. She goes up with her little tongue tit nipples. And unfortunately, we don't get those 2 wells that we saw, the 2 fountains over there, which I really could have needed. Actually, no. Luckily for us, at the end of that section, they refill both our health and our mana. So they were very generous there. So I got to thank the creators for that one, because that section actually took out a lot more health than I expected. So I got to really just say thank you, because otherwise I'd be dead right now. And that's another thing I don't like about these penis ladies, is because for some reason, the game designers decided, hey, you have to do a certain thing, otherwise they will just dodge. You have to wait for them to attack, otherwise they can just slide right away from you, not usually, like that. Like, if I don't see, they can just dodge my attack, and then if I try anything, if I try grabbing, if I try just regular attacks, the only thing I've noticed that they can't exactly dodge is the cross, but then again, that's because the majority of the enemies in this game can't dodge the cross. But yeah. So unless you're planning on just attacking these women solely based with your cross attack, then it's not really going to work. Well, it's not going to go too well because, like I said, now we've reached the top of the storm, and I want to show one more thing real quick, because I want to show you where they put the save point, because it's kind of out of the way. Now, as you can see, this little tricky area has electricity. So what you have to do is try to avoid the just like before on Charon's ship with the fire, you have to do the same thing here, but just essentially with the electricity. But it's a lot easier to figure out when the electricity is going to actually, you know, activate. So it's much easier to avoid it and time your jumps correctly. So that way you can actually, you know, avoid it and not get shocked, unless you're an idiot like me. Now we have a damsel here, but the first thing I want to do is actually jump down, jump, Sonova, jump. Seriously? Okay, just drop. Okay, there we go. And we run into one of these guys again, these evil demon goat-looking things. And now we get the Arrow of Paris. The Arrow of Paris, I believe, it's another unholy attack. Now, this is really good if you like to grab, because as you see, grab attack damage is increased. So if you like to do grabs a lot and you're working on your unholy, definitely do this. But unfortunately, we need unholy level 1, and since I had to restart my file, I don't even have unholy level 1. I'm at unholy level 0. So from now on, I'm going to really try to, like this person right here. This is Semiramis, the legendary queen. This is actually, wow. Wait, then who's the giant evil lady? Because this is Semiramis, which is the queen that... What? Virgil? I thought you were talking about the big lady. Who's this? You know what? Just for that, I'm pissed. I'm going to punish you. And this is what you do when you punish people. Your scythe becomes an arm blade, and you just stab it straight through their damn chest. Alright, so here we go. Now we actually have unholy level 1. And because of this, I think I'm going to buy Death's Pillar, because this is the 4. It goes from 1 hit to 2 hits straight to 4. It's very nice about doing that. So now you have a 4 stage attack with your scythe on the heavy attack, which is very nice of them to do. Now, as you can see, we can actually jump over here, and we get one more thing. I believe this is going to be a piece of silver. if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is our 6th piece of silver. As you recall, we did get our 5th piece of silver in 2 episodes ago, actually, where, overall, you know what happened. So, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to save right here. And, actually, no. Before we save, I'm going to call it an episode right here, just so you know. This has been about 15 minutes, so this should be a good length episode. So, in the meantime, guys and girls, thank you so very much for watching this. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you really like it, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And until the next time, this has been Gaming Jack 24/7 here, reminding you to just have a nice day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.